Welcome to your Need to Know for July 10th, coming to you from Meadow Mill. I'm Amanda. This is Alan. You can join us here every Tuesday at 12:30 for your weekly news roundup and a discussion of current events. Let's do the news, Alan.
Okay. Well, President Trump has a new Supreme Court nominee. Here's what you need to know about Brett Kavanaugh. He's not Jewish, for one thing.
Very far from it. Opposite.
President Trump nominated Kavanaugh to replace Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy upon his retirement at the end of July. A federal appeals court judge in Washington, Kavanaugh, 53, is well respected by the Republican establishment, although some on the right have said he's not conservative enough. Trump reportedly was wary of Kavanaugh's close ties to George W. Bush, who nominated him to his current position in 2003. A judge must interpret the law and not make the law, Kavanaugh said in remarks from the East Room of the White House on July 9th. He helped draft the Starr report, which called for President Clinton to be impeached because he lied about having had a sexual relationship with White House intern Monica Lewinsky. He fought on the legal team, urging Florida not to have a recount in the 2000 presidential election between Bush and Al Gore, President Clinton's vice president. The Supreme Court decision not to do so led to Bush becoming president. Kavanaugh has stated that he considers Roe versus Wade binding and would seek to uphold it, though he has ruled in some cases to place restrictions on abortions. Orthodox groups are likely to welcome a court that protects public religious expression over strict separation, as it did in a recent ruling confirming a baker's right to refuse to bake a cake for a same-sex wedding.
So
there you go.
This could be a lot worse. Could be better.
Could be worse.
It could be worse. The one troubling, well, there's lots troubling, but he's 53, which means if he gets in, that's a long time of his influence.
Right.
But he does sound like he cares about precedent and constitutional law,
right?
Which would mean that he would maybe be likely to uphold existing decisions,
right?
Which has some promise. We can't say. We have no idea.
Right. With a lot of these guys, we see that you can't predict.
You can't predict at all. I mean, I don't think anyone predicted Kennedy to vote in the way he did on a lot of issues. So we'll
Should
see.
Be interesting.
Yes. Yeah, so go ahead. Tell us more.
Well,
tell us more stuff.
Of course, in Jay Moore, you can meet Ben Jealous' running mate. Ben Jealous, of course, is Maryland's Democratic candidate for governor, running against the incumbent, Governor Larry Hogan. Jealous has been endorsed by Bernie Sanders and has a Jewish running mate as his lieutenant governor. Susan Turnbull would be Maryland's first Jewish lieutenant governor since Melvin A. Mickey Steinberg held the office from 1987 to 1995.
Was Mickey Steinberg popular?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, certainly in the Jewish community, he was very well known and popular.
All right.
He served under William Donald Schaefer, of course. Turnbull has served as vice chair of the Democratic National Committee and chairwoman of the Maryland Democratic Party. Additionally, she is the co-founder of Emerge Maryland, which recruits and trains women to run for public office. And Jay Moore's political writer, Peter Arnold, sat down with Turnbull to discuss the election. You can read all about that interview online at jmooreliving.com.
Nice.
It's a very interesting interview.
Yes. Meanwhile, there's a Nazi running for office in
Illinois.
Running
for office.
Of all places. Near Chicago. Like, how does that even make any sense?
Like the Blues Brothers. Remember the Blues Brothers movie?
I remember the movie, but where are we going?
There were Nazis in there.
Oh, there were?
Yes.
In Chicago?
Yep.
Okay.
Republican Governor Bruce Rauner has called on a neo-Nazi candidate for a Chicago area congressional seat to drop out of the race, and he's asked voters to, quote, vote for anybody else.
Mickey Mouse.
Good call.
Mickey Mouse.
The Illinois governor denounced Arthur Jones, who's also a Republican and a former leader of the American Nazi Party, but he declined to endorse the opposing Democratic candidate or recommend a write-in candidate for the 3rd Congressional District seat. On July 5th, Rauner clarified in a tweet, to the voters of the 3rd Congressional District, vote for anybody but Arthur Jones. Nazis have no place in our country and no one should vote for them. For the media or anyone else to suggest I think otherwise is offensive and irresponsible.
Well, good for him. But like, can you imagine that you're so out of touch that you think it's okay to have this on your resume? You're like the former leader of the American Nazi Party, and that's okay. Like, you just have no idea that that's like not a bad thing to say.
Well, depends on where you're campaigning, where you're stumping.
But he's in freaking near Chicago.
True.
This doesn't make any sense.
True.
And I don't know how he even got this far. But yes, go vote for anyone else, Chicago.
It's incredible.
If you're just joining us, this is Jay Moore's Need to Know on Facebook Live. Share, like, and follow at hashtag Jay Moore Need to Know. Some pretty exciting news in the world of sports.
Yes, Israeli sports, in fact.
Yes.
An Israeli sprinter broke her country's women's record in the 100 meters set at the 1972 Munich Olympics. Diana Vaisman, who will be 20 at the end of this month, ran the race in 11:38 seconds last week at the Israel Athletic Championship in Tel Aviv, beating the time of 11:45 by Esther Roth Shahamarov. On Facebook, Vaisman wrote, "New national record. After 46 years, it was my turn, my opportunity, and finally I did it. It's hard to express all the feelings and to show how excited I am. I think you can read it here. But now I'm just looking forward and getting ready for my next challenge." Roth Shahamarov said after the race that a burden has been lifted off my shoulders. How tough can it be to live with a record?
I don't know. I was waiting for 46 years just wondering who was going to be
time.
that runner.
Yes.
Who's going to do it?
She told Vaisman at the finish line, "You chose to do it here. Based on what I see, you can still improve. You have the legs to do it. Now I give it everything. Now give it everything you have in competition." So very magnanimous. Vaisman, who is a resident of the Israeli city of Ashkelon, which of course is Baltimore's sister city, is serving in the Israeli army.
Right.
The world record for women in the 100 meters is 10:40, set by American sprinter Florence Griffith Joyner, FloJo, in 1988. There you go.
So she sounds epically fast, but she's still got more than a second to beat FloJo. All right, well, tell us about some more record-breaking news.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Stumbled upon.
Yeah, the Jewish rapper Drake is now officially a phenomenon and has told the Beatles to get back.
Oh,
get it?
boy. Yes.
Yeah. With his latest album, Scorpion, the 31-year-old Canadian rapper, whose mom, Sandy, is Jewish, has bested the Fab Four and set a new record by posting 7 simultaneous singles on Billboard's Top 10.
That's incredible.
That toppled the Beatles' longtime record of 5 singles set back in 1964.
Amazing.
Billboard notes that the band remains the only act to monopolize the Hot 100.
Oh my gosh. That is not funny. You guys, come on.
Wow.
Here, you can have it.
No. They stormed the set.
Oh my God. This is like, I have. What are you doing? All right. Thank you, everybody. Here, hold on. I'll make a wish real fast. Sorry to our 3 people who are watching. We're sorry.
We caught her off guard.
No, because I'll tell you why in a second. Hold on. Ah, this is so embarrassing. So.
You were just saying that you were hungry.
Thank you. So what happened was I was at a bar mitzvah all weekend. But it happened to be my birthday, but obviously it wasn't about me because it was about the bar mitzvah boy. Right. But my family super surprised me in the middle of the bar mitzvah. So, like, I've been jumping now for 4 days because...
Wow. The work family did this.
Thank you, guys.
You thought you were finally off the hook.
I really did. No, like, one surprise a birthday is plenty. Now this is like multiple. It's been going on for days is what I'm trying to get at. Cool. But thank you, everyone. Thank you. Get out so we can finish the news. Go ahead. Everyone have some cake.
Ice cream cake. So
come join us for some cake. Oh, really? I love ice cream cake. Oh, that's my favorite, you guys.
All right.
Okay, so
thank you.
Geez, Alan.
surprise.
You're surprised. Yeah.
There we go.
All right.
Glenn is all for Klimt here.
Yeah, Glenn. He was surprised too.
That's right.
This has been like literally.
No, he wasn't surprised.
All my family, like nonstop for the last 4 days, have been surprising me. It's like
a
keeps on going. It keeps on going.
All right.
All right. So
Nothing
Drake.
wrong with that.
Back to Drake.
Yeah, what were we saying about Drake?
You were saying he's amazing.
Yes, he knocked off the Beatles, right?
Yes.
So he had 5. You were really surprised, weren't you?
Yeah, I didn't know why the door was opening. I was like,
great.
what kind of jerk is opening the door right now?
Great. Okay. So Drake right now, getting back to Drake, he has 7 singles in the top 10 right now. Nice for What at number 1, Nonstop at number 2, God's Plan at number 4, In My Feelings at number 6, I'm Upset at number 7. Emotionless at number 8. I mean, it's incredible.
This sounds like a therapy session, first of all.
And Don't Matter to Me, featuring the late, great Michael Jackson at number 9.
Crazy.
I mean,
first of all, you sounded a lot like Casey Kasem just then.
I know.
Which was kind of cool. But second of all, I actually haven't heard, I'm pretty sure I've never heard a single one of those.
I've heard maybe one or two because of my son. That's about it.
I'm like so out of it.
But yes, so in addition, Drake, who was born Aubrey Drake Graham in Toronto and famously parodied his bar mitzvah on Saturday Night Live, broke his own record of most singles charting in the top 100 with 27, including all 25 tracks from Scorpion, which is his 5th album and was released on June 29th. There you go.
He's super popular.
And
is the bottom line there.
As if that wasn't enough, Drake's label, Republic Records, has announced that Scorpion has crossed the 1 billion mark in total streams, a first for an album in its first week. So kudos to Drake. We're awfully proud of him.
Super. Well, we are. Why? Like, yeah, I know. We're just gonna keep claiming him. I mean, yes,
but yeah.
Yes, his mom is Jewish, so good, and she's. It's really cute too because.
Oh, is she?
Well, it's just like she's very typical looking, like Jewish mama. And then she made Drake.
Right. Wow.
So, anyway. All right.
That's a pretty incredible feat,
he's amazing. That makes him probably like, I mean, wouldn't that then say that he's one of the most popular musical artists of all time? If you beat the Beatles, that would sort of say that. Absolutely. And look at Michael Jackson still making records.
Posthumously.
Yes.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of people, doing amazing feats and our favorite superheroes, it's been way too long since we've had a Gal Gadot moment of the day. So
and in our backyard.
This is a good one. This is a good one.
Well, the Israeli actress took a break from filming the sequel to her 2017 movie Wonder Woman to visit a Virginia Children's Hospital in full costume.
Awesome.
On July 6th, Gadot posed for photos with patients and staff at Inova Children's Hospital in Annandale during her visit. She's been spotted in Virginia and around D.C., where she is filming Wonder Woman 1984, which is scheduled for release in November of 2019. There you go.
That's awesome. I would love to run into Gal. Actually, that would have been a good surprise, Alan.
Yeah.
If you could have gotten her to show up here in our studio, right? Glenn would have been all about that. I would have been all about that.
We all would have.
Yes, let's invite her. Gal, if you're watching.
Come on by.
Come on by. We've got ice cream cake. All right.
Amanda's wearing her hat.
I've got my hat on. You've got your costume. So you just realized. Yeah, because I look so normal. Let's do one public service announcement, and then we can finish up with the J word of the day.
Okay. Right. Well, on July 12th from 5 to 8 p.m., the Atlanta-based organization J-Screen will conduct a genetic screening event at the Owings Mills JCC. The screening is for more than 200 genetic disorders, such as Tay-Sachs and Gaucher's disease, which are more prevalent in the Jewish community than in the general population. For more information, visit jscreen.org.
Yeah, that's important.
And we also have an article on jmoreliving.com about it.
It's important. You should go do it. I know about Tay-Sachs. I don't know that I knew about Gaucher.
Yeah, most prevalent of all the quote-unquote Jewish diseases.
Well, and also
1 in 12 Jews carries the gene.
And isn't there some statistic about Sephardic women, or maybe it's Ashkenazic
women
with breast cancer?
Yeah, I mean they don't screen for that per se.
Okay.
But that's correct. Yeah, the BRCA gene.
Wow. Interesting. Well, I hope I don't have any of those. I'm going to have to go check. Yeah. All right. Do the J word of the day.
Okay. Well, I think we're going to do two words. We're going to do a J word of the day and a J phrase of the day. The J word of the day is mishpacha, which means, of course, family.
Mishpacha.
There's nothing quite like hanging out with your whole mishpacha for a weekend.
Which is what I did.
As you will attest
I had a great time with my mishpacha.
And then the J phrase of the day is Yom Huledet Sameach, which means happy birthday, which applies to Amanda, of course.
It's so late. It's already days
Yom
ago.
Huledet Sameach.
Wait, one more time.
2 days.
Yom
Huledet
Sameach.
Right.
Thank you.
Just 2 days ago, right?
Yeah.
So close enough.
It was the 8th, everyone. You
there
can pay attention next year. Glenn wished me a happy birthday on my birthday.
He's
I know.
good.
He's on top of things.
All right.
And he tried to bring me some cookies to eat, but they were strawberry flavored, and I can't have those.
You don't do strawberries?
I'm allergic.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you to our online mushbuka for being here today. Remember to join us here on Facebook Live Tuesdays at 12:30 for your Need to Know News Roundup. Go to jmoreliving.com for more news updates. Have a great week. Stay cool. Happy birthday to me.